guys, so for day 8 of Halloween designs, I am going to be doing my own nails. This is going to be the first Halloween design that I do on myself. I'm going to have this one on for like the first half of October, and then towards the end of October, I'll redo them so I can have a fresh set for Halloween. But anyhow, for this design, I wanted to do like a vampire kind of themed set. So to start off, I decided I wanted to do a design underneath of my nails. I haven't done this in a while, and I used to do like designs or like a different color underneath a lot, and I honestly kind of miss doing it. So I wanted to do it for this set, and since I am doing a vampire theme set, I thought doing some blood drips would be really fitting. So I'm just doing the blood drips how I usually do, with my dotting tool, and then I'll drag it up to create that like drip look, and then I'll use my liner brush to um, connect the drips to each other and fill in the rest of the area there. And I am using the color Sinister from Nails by Dev. And after I get all of the drips done, I go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. So after doing the red, I'm going over that with white, the white from Ball Pit, just because I am going to be putting black polish on top, and I really wanted the red to pop and show through underneath and not just kind of blend in with the black. Um, so the white just helps to give it like a background so that it can pop out more from the black. And I am only doing one coat of this. I only did one coat of the red as well. And again, after I get this all done, I do go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Also, when I was doing the white here, I wasn't going all the way to the edge of the drip, so I was kind of leaving a really small, like, border of the red because I didn't want any of the white to like go over the design and then you'd be able to see the white underneath of the nail. I just wanted you to be able to see the red. So that's why I kind of left that little border to make sure that none of the white got on like the clear part of the nail and then would end up showing through to on the underneath side after I do the black. And I did all of this before um sculpting out the nail or like building up the nail with builder gel. So I'm just painting this all on directly on to the tips that I'm using. And then once I'm done, I'll go through and build up the nail. I do use hard gel to do my nails, but I don't show it on camera because I don't um like the whole sculpting nails or like building nail part of videos. So I just don't film them. Also, it takes me a while to do it, and I usually hold my hands super close to my face, and it's a little difficult to film it for me, so I just don't film it. But after I got the nails all built out and filed and buffed and everything, I'm just going in with the black from Ball Pit and doing one coat of this on all of the nails. And you can see that I'm leaving kind of a little bit of a gap there between the like cuticle area of the nail and the rest of the nail. And that's because once I get the rest of the nail painted, I am going to go back in with a liner brush and just go around that cuticle area and get as close as possible to like the skin without getting it on the skin, so I can have a nice clean area right there. That is one way to get a nice clean cuticle area. If you struggle with getting your polish brush up there or struggle with getting polish all over your skin, you can leave a little gap there and then just use a liner brush to fill that area in and get more precise and get even closer to your skin without actually getting it on your skin. And then after I get all of the nails painted, I do go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And I think I mentioned it, but if not, I did only do one coat of this black polish. I'm taking Magic Mirror from Nails by Dev. This is a silver cat eye polish, and I really love this cat eye. I love the color of it, but I also love the cat eye effect. It has like super small particles in it, so it gives that more like velvety or like glass type finish to it, and not the sparkly like glittery type finish with like the larger particles that you see on some cat eye polishes. So I'm just applying one layer of this to the nail, and then I go in with my magnet and magnetize the nail. I'm just kind of pushing all of those particles towards the center of the nail. Um, I was trying to go for like that glass nail trend that was super popular. I want to say the beginning of the year to like the summer, maybe. Um, Also, it's kind of it's like been popular this whole time. But like that glass nail trend where you do the silver cat eye polish and then you put like a jelly color on top. You can kind of see what I was going for there on my right hand. Um, but I've seen a couple videos lately where they're doing this for like a gothic or like a vampire type of um set, and I have really been liking how it looks. So that's what I'm going for here. And then once I get the nail magnetized, I do put my hand in the lamp to flash cure just to lock the magnet particles in place, because if you do let them sit for a while, they do kind of revert back to their original state. So you do want to flash cure and make sure that you lock them in place as you go on to the next nail. And then once I get all of the nails done, I do go ahead and do a full 60-second cure to make sure everything is fully cured. And also, you probably noticed whenever I do my nails, depending on the design that I'm doing, I don't usually film my thumbnail just because it's kind of a pain to film it, because I have to like hold it a different way. I can't like have my hand flat like I do with these other four fingers here. I do have to like make a fist and then kind of hold your thumb, and it's just kind of annoying to try and film it the way that I have to hold my thumb. And like um just painting your thumb in general is annoying, especially if you're doing like some sort of design, like for example, my Coraline set, doing the thumbnail, well, that thumbnail doesn't count, but like if I were to do, because that one went sideways on the nail, but like if I were to do Coraline on the thumb, like I have to paint her upside down. Or a lot of people will do the thumbnail the opposite way, so the design is facing them instead of facing outward. But I don't like when the designs go like all different ways like that. I don't know, it bothers me. And I'm not really a huge fan of the design going lengthwise, like how Coraline went, but you can't fit that across the nail um, horizontally. You have to put it vertically. But anyhow, I just don't film my thumbnail, but I am doing all the exact same stuff on my thumbnail, just not showing it. After I get the cat eye on, I take Jolly Jelly from Ball Pit, which is this really pretty not cat eye, jelly red color. I thought it would be perfect for like this vampire set. And you can see I did get a little bit there on my skin, and I immediately get a cleanup brush, dip it in some alcohol, and wipe that off. And then after I'm finished with getting all of this on, I do go and wash my hands just to make sure that all of that it is completely off and there's not like chemicals still sitting on my skin. So if you do get any polish on your skin or gel or anything, you do want to make sure you clean it off immediately. And then once you're done, you can either do it once you're done polishing, or you can wait until the very end of the set to go wash your hands, but you do want to make sure you wash your hands afterwards. And honestly, even if you don't get polish on your hands or any kind of gel product on your hands, you do want to wash them afterwards because, you know, sometimes the stuff gets all over everything else, and like, I don't know, you just want to be very careful and make sure that you don't have any kind of product on your hands. So it is best to just go ahead and wash them after you get them finished, or after you finish them, which I always do. I never mentioned it, but I feel like I should probably start mentioning that now, or at least mention it here. But anyhow, after getting the cat eye on, I did do 2 coats of, or not the cat eye, the jelly color. I did do 2 coats of it because I felt like 1 coat just wasn't giving the deep red that I was looking for. It was still a little too bright. So I did do a 2nd coat of that red jelly polish just to deepen it up a little bit. And now I'm going in with the anti-matte, I always want to say anti-matte, but it's anti-chrome matte top coat from Ball Pit, because I am going to do some isolated chrome designs. And I just wanted to show how cool these look, either being matte or shiny. I was really loving how they looked just on their own like this with the cat eye and the red jelly polish, and I loved how they looked both ways, either matte or shiny. And then I went and I pulled everything out that I was thinking about using, and I don't know why I pulled it out yet because I needed to do the chrome first. But anyhow, here are all the different like decorations and stuff that I felt fit the whole vampire theme that I was going for, that I was thinking about using but wasn't sure what I was going to use. So anyhow, back to the chrome. I am using the anti-chrome matte top coat from Ball Pit. And this is supposed to make it easy to do isolated chrome designs. You know, if you've watched my videos in the past of doing isolated chrome designs, you kind of know I've been having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out a way to do it to where you have a nice clean background and there's not chrome sticking everywhere. So I did buy this to test it out. This isn't my first time using it in this video. I did use it in a different video that you'll see later. And this works really well. I do really like it for isolated chrome designs. You don't have to worry about buffing or anything. You just apply it, cure it for 60 seconds, and then you can go in, do your design that you're going to do your chrome, and then rub the chrome on, and it doesn't stick to the background. So I'm just taking the Emo Black Liner Gel from Ball Pit. I use this all the time whenever I'm doing an isolated chrome design because it works so well with the chrome powder. So I just do my little design. I did a border around the nails like this squiggly, like braided, oh my gosh, this squiggly, like braided type of border. I kind of regret doing that. I kind of wish I would have just done like a normal border around the nail to where it's like the silver chrome, like a frame. I mean, this is also like a frame, but just like solid chrome instead of doing this squiggly, braided, I don't know, chain looking type design. But I mean, it's not bad. I don't know. I feel like it would have been better if I would have done just like a solid outline of the entire nail. But anyhow, I just do that and then I go ahead and cure that for 15 seconds and then rub the chrome on with this little sponge applicator thingy. And then I've been seeing a lot of people say to take a clean sponge or the opposite side of the applicator, which, as you saw, had chrome on it on the other side, so I couldn't use that. So I'm just taking like one of those wedge sponge things and using that to rub off the excess chrome, and it like cleans it off really well and removes the chrome really well. I'll also use a like a fan brush sometimes to dust away the excess chrome. So either way, you could use like a dust brush or a fan brush or the sponge. They both work really well. And then after I get all the chrome done, I do put my hand in the lamp again to cure for a full 60 seconds because I did only partially cure that liner gel. And like I always say, you don't want partially cured gel on your nails. That's how you develop allergies. So if you are only partially curing gel to do chrome designs, you do want to stick your hand back in the lamp or the nail, whatever, whether you're doing press-ons or you're doing your own nails, you want to stick that back in the lamp and do a full cure to make sure it is fully cured. And now I'm going in and adding on the little decorations. You can see I do have my right hand already done. I did that all off camera so I could figure out like what I was going to do. And it took me so long to figure out what I was going to do and what charms I was going to put on and how I was going to put them on. So I'm glad I figured that out before filming because I would have sat there forever trying to film and like you would have seen me like put something on and then take it off and then put something else on, take it off, and that was just too much. And I mean, I already had a lot of footage to go through anyhow. So this just made it quicker to already have it laid out on my right hand and just mimic over here on my left hand. But I am using this McCart rhinestone glue and my LGN shiny top coat to do all the like top coating and rhinestone or charm work and everything. So for this charm here, because it does have that chain and I wanted to keep the chain dangly and so it still moved around, I did just put a glob of the rhinestone glue down and then stick the charm on there and then cured that. And then afterwards I went around with the top coat, and so I did the bottom half of the nail first. I just flipped the chain up and kind of held my hand up so the chain stayed up, top coated, cured that, and then, well, I flash cured it, and then I flipped the chain back down, applied the top coat up at the top of the nail, and then flash cured that. And then for the rest of the nails, I put the rhinestone glue on and then went over top of that with my top coat, which this is how I usually always do like my charms and rhinestones and stuff whenever I put them on the nails, because I don't like going around them afterwards and like risking getting top coat on top of everything. Also with the rhinestone glue, I just applied it to the entire nail to seal in the chrome before going in with the top coat. That way I wasn't getting any leftover chrome onto my brush and contaminating my top coat. So after I get that on, I do take whatever charms I'm using and stick those on, and then I do flash cure it for about 15-ish seconds just to lock everything in place before moving on to the next nail. And then once everything's all done, I do stick my hand back in the lamp to do a full cure to make sure everything is fully cured. This rhinestone glue, so not only do I do the top coat, so I don't have to, before, like, I do the top coat on top of the uncured rhinestone glue, so I don't have to go around all of the charms and rhinestones and stuff afterwards. But also, this rhinestone glue does have a sticky layer to it, so if just applying the top coat right on top of it, just allows me to avoid having to deal with the sticky layer of the rhinestone glue. But anyhow, this rhinestone glue, I am not really a huge fan of it. Application wise, it is super thick, which I don't have a problem with it being super thick. I do have a couple other rhinestone glues that are thick like this. The problem that I have with this rhinestone glue is that it doesn't level out at all. Like, you can still see all of the brush strokes, and if one section is a little lumpier than another, then you can really see that. And with the other two rhinestone glues that I have that are like this, it's the E-Nail Couture one and I think it's Glitz and Accessories, something like that. I always forget the name. They both kind of level out a little bit so you don't see the brush strokes and it's not like super lumpy whenever you apply it. But then also when I go over top with the top coat, it helps to smooth it out even more and make it even more level and even. This McCart rhinestone glue was not smoothing out like at all, and I was having to put a lot of pressure on it to try and smooth it out some, and it still just wasn't smoothing out as much as I wanted it to. And I feel like even in the finished result, I can still see some of those brush strokes that were left behind from applying the rhinestone glue, which annoys me so much. Also, I feel like this rhinestone glue, with applying the top coat right on top of it, I feel like it made my top coat be less shiny than it usually is. And I've never had that issue with doing like the rhinestone glue top coat combination like this before. It's always been like my top coat has always been super shiny like it always is. But with this one, I just feel like it's not as shiny, like it kind of dulled it out or something. I don't know. Like I said, application wise, I am not a fan of this rhinestone glue, but like hold wise, I've had these nails on for a couple days now, and I didn't fill the gaps in on some of the charms like you should do to prevent stuff like them getting caught on your hair or your clothes or whatever. um but I didn't, because I did kind of want to really put this rhinestone glue to the test and see how well the hold was. And they've been on, like, they're on really well, like, really well. I've got a couple of them snagged. This one here on my thumb, it keeps snagging. Both thumbs keep snagging because the top of the wings there, they are lifted off the nail and like they hang off the nail, and there's like a pretty decent gap there. So they're getting caught and everything, and they're on my thumb, so they are the closest thing to get caught on stuff. And I've snagged them pretty good on some stuff, and they're they're like cemented on there. So I think, like, hold wise, I think this glue is good, at least for these couple days that I've had them on. I'll give an update in a couple weeks when I redo them, but as of right now, they're holding on pretty well, even with getting caught on stuff. The one on my pointer nail also gets kind of caught because of the arms on the angel. And honestly, I thought the spider was going to be an issue because the legs don't sit flat. Like, two legs on the front of the spider don't sit flat at all on the nail. And I thought I was going to have a big issue with that one, but I don't. The spiders haven't gotten caught on anything other than the chain. The chain gets stuck on the spider legs a lot, and um, like my fingers will be stuck together, and I don't realize until I go to do something, and then like it's my fingers like are tugging on each other, and I'm having to untangle that chain, which is low-key a little bit on my nerves because it is dangling. You can just put like, you can glue that down if you don't want it to move, but I kind of wanted it to move because I thought it would be fun, but now I'm just annoyed. Anyhow, so here's the finished result. I like this set. I think it's really cool. Um, the rhinestone glue is annoying me and how it's making the nails look like they're not as good as I feel like they should look. I feel like especially on the nail you can see here like the unevenness from the rhinestone glue, and it is driving me insane. Um, my right hand is a little bit of a mess with the chrome, especially on the thumb. I have no idea what happened there on the thumb, but up near the cuticle area, the chrome ended up smearing, and I didn't feel like fixing it, so I just left it, which I should have fixed it, but I was being lazy, and I'm like, whatever. They're only going to be on for a couple weeks anyhow. They're not going to be on for that long, so I can deal with it. Um, but yeah, and I feel like even on the pointer nail on this one, you can really see like the rhinestone glue kind of being lumpy and uneven, and it just is driving me insane. That bothers me more than the chrome being messed up on the thumb. See, it's a hot mess up there at the cuticle area. But like I said, the unevenness from the rhinestone glue is driving me even more insane than the mess of the chrome on that nail. And I don't know. Macart products, honestly, for me, are kind of hit or miss. I would say more times than not, I have not been super happy with Macart products. And I know Macart is like a huge brand that a lot of people love, and I am not that big of a fan of Macart products. Like, I do have their jelly polishes, which are decent, but there's also better jelly polishes out there. But I do like them. They're nice. But this rhinestone glue, I don't know. Like I said, the hold is nice, but the application, not so much. I really love how these look in the dark with the flash, and you can see like the cat eye and everything. They look so good. They kind of are giving me more gothic vibes than vampire vibes, but I mean, same thing, right? Um, but anyhow, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.